Hey, howdy, hey, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of YoungBlood Podcast, the podcast where we bring you Boise locals doing Boise things and talking about Boise stuff. We've got a phenomenal episode for you guys today. It's episode 35. Guys, 35. I don't know how we keep going, but fucking A, we do. And we've got a Mr. Johnny motherfucking Johnson for you today, you guys. He's a bar manager, entertainer, bartender, whatever the fuck you want to call him. He's my boy, my friend, and he's here to bring you a good time, you guys. So thanks for tuning in, and here's episode 35.
Freedoms with that, as well as just recently started going back to school, working towards my marketing degree.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, hell yeah.
Cool. Where are you going to school at?
Boise State, local. I mean, I'm a local here, so it's cheaper than going somewhere else. And I figured, might as well, get the degree that I already spent $20,000 on and then dropped out. Should probably, finish that because, God, that's expensive.
I mean, I've noticed a lot of my friends with the age we're getting into now being 26, it's a lot of our friends that are in the service industry, like you or I are college graduates, which is kind of a trip too, though, because to me, I'm somebody who didn't go to college and started a career elsewhere in the trades. And, it's kind of a trip to see all these kids that do that degree and are not doing anything with it versus you're going back because you're like, fuck this. I want to do something with that degree.
Exactly. And to your point there, people are in the service industry because right out of college, right out of the gates, they keep, companies pay people shit for their degrees. So, you can go make $30,000, $40,000 at a desk job, or you can go make more than that. I mean, $50,000, $60,000 doing, the service industry. So It's really hard for people to take that pay cut, especially when they get out of college, because they're going, well, shit, I need money. You got to pay back all the student loans and everything like that and to live your life. And it really sucks when you get out. You feel real proud holding a piece of paper that costs $40,000, $50,000, whatever it is. Let's say local here is probably around that $50,000.
Right.
But then your first job out of college, they're offering you half of that just to work a desk job for them.
Now, let me ask you this. With your marketing degree, do you plan on doing something with that degree that kind of affiliates where you're going right now with life? Or do you want to take that away from the bar industry?
A little bit of both, honestly. So I'd like to start my own small marketing firm that optimizes SEO optimization, website building, social media campaigns, ad campaigns, mostly for businesses affected by COVID.
Small business.
Exactly. So I want to try to give back to the community a little bit and really partner and work with people that are struggling to get through this as we return back to a level of normalcy.
I actually really do have a soft spot for that. Because I, as those out there who do know me, I do own a small business. But that really doesn't really matter that much because what I really wanted to talk about is how when I was starting out my small business, a lot of my marketing and everything that I did was on Facebook, and it was also very, very successful. I was getting 10, 15 phone calls a day when Facebook first started out, just because, hey, I saw your ad on Facebook that you do this and that, and I was wondering if you come out and do a quote, and it was almost too good to be true because it was, and that was the first year that Facebook was trying to figure it out for themselves. They're like, okay, let's release all this shit and let all these people try it and see what happens. And then they saw all these small businesses, small-time contractors, small-time anything, mom and pa's just saying, hey, I knit fucking quilts for a living. Come over and pick a quilt of your choice. I will fucking sew your dog's face onto it and it'll be perfect. They don't let you do that shit anymore. You can't just go, hey, come buy my quilts. They'll take you down. Cool thing was
it's all about money.
Right. And you could pay Facebook too back then. You could pay Facebook minimal amounts on the dollar, like 20, 30, 40 bucks and see results. Hey, fuck, dude, I'm throwing Facebook $30, get a couple phone calls today. You would get that. Now you throw Facebook $30 and they are such a broadened platform that they're advertising for these small businesses in the same way that they advertise for the big businesses like Amazon.
Well, not necessarily true, because you can go in and you can set that up and you can set the parameters to what you're looking for, which is basically where I would be coming in to be able to help people like that. Because to people that don't know how to do this, it is very broad and they're not going to get any real return. So they're just throwing money away. Now, if you know what you're doing, because I've done this for our restaurants downtown, well, our restaurants in general. And so I've done this on multiple different areas and I've seen great returns, but it's because I've picked out the specific types of people that I want to interact with. And I've gotten that interaction and I've gotten really great results when you do fine tune it, because then you can really get the people that are looking for what you're offering. Exactly.
Yeah, your specific audience.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. It's just knowing how to fine tune that.
Right, exactly. And somebody like you, I do want to kind of give you a bit of acknowledgement that you kind of have a bit of an advantage over some other people that are in the marketing industry, because you're not just going to school for marketing, you're heavy set in an area where you're doing marketing daily. So you're essentially kind of like your own intern.
It's a lot of fun. I get to pass all the work on to the intern, but it's still me.
Exactly. And so I'm gonna go ahead and go along the lines of say that you're somewhat of a marketing professional.
Professional, maybe not, but there you go.
And when I say professional, I don't say professional like I would say I'm a skilled tradesman professional. That's a profession, right? But you're somebody who's I guess the word that I'm looking for is not a professional, but somebody who's looking to be one.
Exactly. It's what I would like to do, and I've got a small set where I of skills that I understand how to use it, and it's just fine tuning and just every day making myself a little bit better and learning a little bit more so that I can do marketing successfully for I guess whatever it is that I'm choosing to do in that moment.
I'm trying to think of an interesting way to word the question I'm kind of trying to ask of you. I guess the question I'm thinking of would be, what kind of advice would you give to somebody who is looking to increase their marketing value, and somebody that maybe isn't a business, but is a small social media influencer? Do you have any tips and tricks for people like on Instagram or on Facebook? Just little things that you can maybe be like, hey.
Yeah, of course. Interaction with whoever, your followers, obviously, posting stories and interacting with people and making sure that your content is something that people are looking for. If it depending on, I guess, the social media, the models and, the people that are trying to become influencers on that, post relevant content, react and interact with your guests or your followers, I guess, and go through and follow, like people's posts. And a lot of times the best way to get that and make somebody feel connected with you is to, if you get new followers, go onto their page and, like a couple things, comment something on that and, make them feel like a real human, because people will respond better to you that way. And you'll be able to get more content out. People will look for your content. People will share your content because they want to have that human connection. Right. So don't forget, human connection is a huge piece of that. You're not just throwing stuff out that you're hoping people are going to like. You got to remember that there's other humans out there, and the best way for them to share your content is if they're like, oh, this person's genuine. They're, I was going to say, I follow a spiritual guru on there. Right. And it was really cool because I started following him, and the next day he instantly.
Do you know his handle by chance?
Sa Di Simon. His incredible human. He speaks a lot about meditation and just about reliving life and just kind of getting past a lot of like the emotional turmoil that people don't talk about. But it was the thing that I felt was really cool. He's got 1.8 million followers or something like that. But I started following him. And instantly he went onto my page and he liked a few of my posts and he commented, and I was just like, oh, that's really cool that this person that is insanely popular on this social media platform took the time out of his day to go on there and make me feel that human connection with him.
Make you feel like he was somebody behind the screen.
Yeah, and there you go. See, this is marketing right there. I'm talking about this guy that how everybody's going to go like, oh shit, maybe I should look this guy up. See, but that's what I'm talking about. That's something so simple that if you want to be an influencer, just do little things like that. Because you don't know who's going to start talking about you on a podcast.
Right, or word of mouth, man. Like
exactly.
My biggest traction that I've gained, or my biggest way of gaining traction that I've had, would definitely be from word of mouth from my guests. So the people who come on, my one thing that I ask them is, when the podcast is said and done and on some social media platforms, just do me a favor and share the post that I make about it.
Right.
Because I have a different set of followers as well as a different algorithm on my fucking Instagram. So when your algorithm sees my post, there's going to be 20 to 50% more people that I don't follow who see that.
Exactly.
And it's kind of a trip that it's all focused now on the algorithms, because back when it was chronological and you can just post things and you're going to see no matter who you follow and what they post, you're going to see it.
Exactly.
And it makes me wish that was back, but also it makes me appreciate it because of those out there who have capitalized on that algorithm.
It's all about knowing the algorithms, and you can really capitalize on it. I mean, Instagram, the times to post every single day is different. It's not just like 5 o'clock every single day. You're going to get the most interaction. Every single day is different. You can go up and look on it. I don't remember. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've got it written down in my book my notebook at home. But it's every single day was different. And it's just when they see you can go back. Instagram gives you this information. It tells you this is when they have the highest usage. So now obviously this is, a very broad platform, but it says they have the highest usage of users using it on this hour. So that's your best chance.
On this hour of that day.
Exactly.
Right.
So
there's a graph schematic. There's a chart that shows you these things.
Exactly.
I was going to get into, So we're talking very along the lines of marketing through social media and doing it, especially because through a business standpoint or through like influencer standpoint. But to kind of focus more on the business side of things, somebody like myself who owns a small business, I have noticed a heavy amount of results from just posting my tile on my story.
Yeah.
Like every single day that I get up and I go to work, I let everybody know that I got up today and I started working. I don't just post a picture. I don't post a selfie. Hey, what's up? No, I post what I'm doing, what I'm selling to people, what somebody just bought, the finished product that I just installed for them. And
see, but that's relevant content to you.
Right.
I mean, if a business is posting things about puppies, it's going to be like, yeah, that's cute, but like right. the dots don't connect. So they're not going to, people aren't going to think of you if you're posting pictures of puppy. They're not going to be like, oh, I'm going to call, Casey because he's got a puppy for him to do my tile work,
Right.
Like the dots aren't there.
And one thing that I actually, to kind of hop off a little bit on that, but stay in the same realm a little bit. Twitter. If you noticed, I recently just made a Twitter for the podcast, right?
Did not notice. I don't have Twitter.
Go follow me back. Yes, you do. I follow you. Or your brother, one of them. No, I follow you. You
I
just don't go
Twitter.
on.
The last time I logged in was 2012, I think.
Okay, yeah. So I deleted all of my personal Twitter accounts and everything about 3 years ago. And I just now, as of like 2 weeks ago, decided, I was like, I think Twitter is the most toxic app in the entire fucking
100%.
realm of this planet, period. But it's great for business. Great for fucking business. Because I didn't make a Casey Young Twitter. I made a YoungBlood Podcast Twitter. By the way, if you guys are out there, follow YB Podcast. Check it out on Twitter and all of your favorite social media platforms. Please and thank you. But yeah, so I just figured it out that Twitter is great because you can get that sense of human interaction very, very easily on Twitter. You can scroll through and just hashtag search Boise. It'll show you all these people that are hashtagging Boise, living in Boise or saying shit about Boise. You go through and you like every fucking post that says something about Boise in it. And my podcast says YoungBlood Podcast, a Boise-based podcast for Boise locals. So the second they see my notification that they like it or that I like their post, there's a slight chance they might open my profile and shoot
goes
me a
back
follow.
to human interaction, what I was saying earlier. See, he's using it.
Yes,
it's
guys.
smart.
And
it's
you
the
guys
best way to
should
do
too.
it.
You guys should too. Like if
you're looking to market, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, if you're gonna take anything out of what Mr. Johnson has said here, is human interaction, and a lot more than in just marketing. Human interaction is something that we're devastatingly losing at an insane rate. Like it sucks. Like,
welcome to the pandemic, people. Welcome to the pandemic.
Human interaction, and that's.
By the way, we should be in masks. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, man, I do disinfect this podcast every time. Other than the last person who used the mic was Leah. I didn't disinfect it. Sorry. So if you got COVID, blame Leah.
For those of you that did not notice, I just licked the microphone.
Cheers to that, brother. But Twitter, dude. And again, one thing that I really tried to make sure that I did with the podcast was outside of my immediate friend circle, I waited about 6 months until I started posting things about my podcast on my personal story. I did that because I didn't want to go and have those few potential viewers that would actually click on my stuff and be like, oh, Casey has a podcast, let's see it. And only see that I have 1 or 2 episodes and I just started it and it wasn't established.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah, and so what I did was I saved my clout. I waited until I built a show. I waited until I had 30, maybe 20 episodes. I waited until I had a second season and I had been going at least 6 months. And that's when I started saying, hey, friends, I don't know if you know this, I do have a podcast. Go check it out. And then I noticed, I was like, oh shit, dude, the day I finally did that, my views went through the roof. I was like, holy shit. And that being said, this is actually the first episode of the new year. So congrats on that, everybody. Yeah, the first episode of YoungBlood Podcast. 2021. And also, I believe this is episode like 35 or 36 of the second season.
Nice.
Yeah, dude. So we've been pumping and dumping, man. We've been doing it.
Same.
We've been doing it hard.
No podcasts. Same.
And that was funny. One thing I said to, I think Jared or somebody the other day, I was like, yeah, man, one thing I've been just trying to do, more girls. I mean, on the podcast.
Same.
So, Mr. Johnson, and one thing I will kind of highlight to everybody today, we do have a limited amount of time. Mr. J over here has a couple plans ahead too, so we're trying to get as much as we can in on this episode. But do keep in mind, we'll do another one down the road. It's not a big deal.
Oh yeah, no. Well, I love talking, so let's do this.
Let's do this. All right. You know that none of that was recorded, right? I'm totally fucking kidding.
Echo.
I did that to Clay, but it didn't actually hit record by accident.
Oh, wow.
And we went for 2.5 hours. And I was like, Clay.
Well, you could always start over and just keep it going.
We did. We got about that's why his episode is the trailer. If you go on the Spotify and you look at my podcast, his is the trailer. So the first episode you see is the 30-minute episode of Clay and I, and it's just him talking about like his fucking first ever UFC fight debut.
Oh, damn.
And it is a fucking perfect podcast. Like he just fucking kills the entire story. You've heard Clay's stories 100 times.
Oh, yeah. Clay's a funny man.
Clay's he's a hoot and a holler. And me and him, actually, I got invited to be a guest DJ on Radio Boise.
Oh, nice.
Because of the podcast. They found my podcast and Radio Boise reached out to me. And then they asked me to build a couple new show ideas and pitch it to the station. So I'd asked Clay, he's going to help me build a couple of these shows. And we have 3 different show premises that we're going to pitch to Radio Boise. But so I'm not even going to say I'm on the show just because I don't want people to steal my fucking ideas. But yeah, he's going to be working on as being like the co-host of it. And we think it's going to be
super rad. Yeah.
We think it'll be pretty entertaining to watch because Clay's literally got a very similar personality than I do, or I have a very similar personality than he does.
Y'all wild.
Yeah, we're a little wild.
Yes.
But wild in a good way.
Well. No, tons of fun. Good way.
I mean, Johnny, you're pretty wild yourself, man. I remember the first time I met you. I'm just kidding. I wasn't going to say that.
I've definitely tamed it back just a little bit.
There's
so
this
being
quote
26,
from a movie.
I'm closer to 30 than 21. I realized, shit, I should probably get my life in order. Maybe next year.
There's a scene. I don't know. Have you seen Garden State before?
No,
with Zach Braff, I think it is, the guy from the Scrubs, the main character from Scrubs. Yeah.
Okay,
so he's got this movie with fucking Princess Leia. What's her name?
Carrie something.
No, not the old one. The new fucking
Princess Leia.
Yeah, that's not Carrie.
I'm pretty sure that's what you're talking about. The
actor.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Carrie something.
No, it's fuck me. I'm going to think about this later and be super mad at myself. But anyways, there's a scene in the movie where he's speeding on a motorcycle at his hometown and he gets pulled over. This cop pulls him over. He's like, put your fucking hands in the air. He's being a total excessive prick. And the guy's like, dude, shit, my bad. I'm like, well, fuck, I was just speeding. You know, and the guy walks up and he's like, holy shit, Spence. And they're like, oh my God, dude, fucking last time I saw you was in high school. You know, and he's like, dude, you're a cop now, Kenny? And he's like, yeah, man, you know, how'd it do? Kenny, last time I saw you, you were doing lines off the back of a fucking toilet. He's like, yeah. And I was gonna say that to you, but I decided not to. So Johnny,
never off the back of a toilet. Jesus, come on.
Urinal.
I have hygiene. Come on. I do it off a phone or something. Come on, like
standards. I wish we could sit here and do the original plan and just crack some cold ones and get fucking stupid. But instead of doing that today, we'll maybe turn it into something a little more insightful. And with that, we've done pretty good as far as keeping it on a marketing grind, keeping it on just kind of who you are and what you're doing. But the thing is, Johnny, this is your episode. This is my show, but this is your episode. Is there anything? This is a public platform.
That is a lot of pressure you just put on me, sir. Why would you do that?
Because the thing is, dude, after this episode, YoungBlood Podcast is going to break 1,000 downloads on Spotify. Woo! And that's downloads, guys. That's not listens. Downloads is different than listens. That means that every download that I get is one person who follows me, who's this podcast is entirely downloaded onto their phone.
That's fucking awesome.
Right?
Congrats.
Fucking right.
Milestones here.
Dude,
we're making milestones.
Amen. You know, and also to those of you out there, I have sponsors. I have this, that, and another. What I don't have, guys, is a lot of money. Okay, this podcast entirely comes out of my pocket. I am the producer, the fucking editor, and the host of the show. I do everything and anything that I can to keep it going. But if you do like the show and you do like the content and you want to do what you can to help out and support me, do me a favor and go follow me on Patreon, guys. It's $3 a month. It's not an OnlyFans. You don't get to see my dick, but you get to be a fucking supporter of YoungBlood Podcast, guys. And again, that's YoungB Podcast. Again,
and if
guys,
you're looking for my OnlyFans, just message me on Instagram and I'll just send you the link.
Dude, I was thinking about making an OnlyFans for the podcast specifically, just because it'd be hilarious to have an OnlyFans link on my Instagram. So when some people like Casey M. Young, haha, OnlyFans, click, and they're like, what the fuck? Casey's got an OnlyFans, and then it sends them to my podcast link.
Look, I support that. I think
it's a great idea.
I think you should do that.
I'll have it done by tonight.
Yeah, it's really easy to sign up. I did it last week, drunk at Matador. Anyways, that's what I did for my birthday, guys.
OnlyFans. Well, then what you could do is you could post videos of you doing stupid shit. It's just funny. Like, did you see that? Did you see that story I posted today about the video my friends and I made when we were all 15?
No, I don't think so.
Oh my God, dude! I'll fucking.
I wasn't on social media much today,
dude. This is worth showing you during the podcast. I'll tell you that much.
I'd love to see it. Let's see it. I can only imagine, God, because when I was 15, me and my friends were stupid. I remember one time I lit my friend Alex crotches on fire, and he let us. It was his idea.
No shit.
Yeah. What is wrong? What was wrong? What is wrong with 15-year-old guys? We are stupid.
Oh no! I'm gonna show you that exact thing. Actually, I'm gonna have to start that over. So, backstory: this, so my friends and I, when we were like freshmen in high school or 8th grade or whatever, we all decided to make our own version of the Jackass films. And
same.
So this is how it starts out.
Oh Jesus! Right in the nuts. Yep, sounds about right.
This is just the intro to the full movie we made too.
You made a full.
We made a full movie.
Oh boy. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Dude, it was fucking great, man. And I'll tell you what, we did that shit back before there was fucking do it for the Vine. We did it to go to jail. Like, we were like, do it for the Vine. Do it because you don't give a fuck is what we thought about, you know?
We just figured our dude did the same. We saw people making millions of dollars making dumbass videos and we're like, yo, we could do that. Oh God. Why would they release Jack? Like, that's.
The thing is, I'd still do it again to this day, but it'd be more fun now because I'm an adult. Then, well, I mean, no,
it would hurt a lot more. You bounce back as a kid. Like nowadays, I'm afraid that if I jump off a roof, I'm breaking something. When I was a kid, I would jump off a roof and it was just, nothing.
Well, to us, we all knew that no matter what we did, our records would get expunged when we turn 18. So
mostly.
as long as we didn't kill anybody or do anything super fucking felon-like.
Felonies.
Yeah, as long as we didn't do anything.
Any misdemeanor, you're good.
Yeah, if we had a misdemeanor and you were under 18, so we were like, what, are you going to give us a fucking felony for jumping off a roof? Eat a dick. Like, that's our own problem. You know, but we would do like questionable shit. Like we would fucking, like there was one, like if you saw in the preview, my buddy was fucking taped up in the middle of an intersection. We taped him to a fucking light pole in the middle of the intersection on a busy road. And he's just sitting
fucking
there,
awesome.
Like, and we would also hide ourselves in fucking storm grates. We would take the lids off of storm grates and crawl inside. So when people would walk by, we'd go, "Blah!" and scare the fuck out of. Dude, we got kicked out of 4 or 5 different malls. We ran from the cops probably once a week.
Yeah.
Like
I know that feeling too. Yeah,
it was a regular thing. And like I made a TikTok version of it, and it's like that one's pretty funny too. They started out like this, and I'm all like, sorry, people listening to all this. I know you don't want to hear all that.
In 2007, we made a jackass film of our own. And somehow no one went to jail.
There you go. God.
And then at the end of it, it says, oh, I lied about that last part. Because I'm pretty sure a few of the crew went to jail by now.
Yeah, I spent 4 hours there once.
I know, like jail. They're not holding cell.
Yeah, it was really just a drunk tank.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna grab another beer real quick. All right, Johnny. How much time you got, brother?
We got another half an hour easy.
Cool.
You want to toss me one too while you're up? Sorry, probably should have said that.
That's okay. Da-da-da-da. Oh, nice. Fucking joys. You know, usually too, when I do the show, I don't give it enough, or I don't give it much room for the awkward start. You know, normally what I'll do is like, you know how when I started with you today, I was, oh yeah, tell me what you're doing, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Like, no, by the time that I start recording the actual show, usually this is where I hit record. So we'll talk for like 30 minutes, have a couple beers.
That's fair. Get yourself a little loosey-goosey, relax, kind of understand what's going on here. Yeah.
Get the conversation started and rolling. But with you, it wasn't too bad of a transition in, you know, and we also, like I said today, we didn't have a whole lot of time to fuck around with that.
I apologize about that.
Nah, dude, I'll never be sorry. This is your time, not mine. I was gonna be sitting here no matter what.
I can't say the same.
Josh Grad says hi, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
He texted me. He said, tell Mr. JJ I say hi.
I will. He was in my business today. He's very proud. Support local. Remember that. Support local. We're all broke and we need to support the local businesses.
Exactly. Including CMY LLC and the Reef Boise, the Brickyard, and the Front Door. All great businesses.
All of those businesses are great. Come visit me.
Why don't you talk about them just a hair? I know we're not a bartending podcast in this one.
That's okay. We can talk about business.
Yeah, let's talk about them, man.
This year, hopefully, with the vaccine out, we're going to be returning back to a level of normalcy. Not really sure what normal is going to look like here in the near future. Excuse me, beer. But last year was a terrible year for any small local restaurant. As many of you can imagine, we were shut down for 2 months. And when we opened back up, we were set with heavy, heavy restrictions, especially in the downtown Boise area where people were afraid to go. You know, outside of Nampa, Caldwell, places like that, the businesses didn't really care. They stayed open. They didn't do any of the mask mandates or social distancing or cutting down capacity. But downtown, with our businesses being right across the street from Capitol or from City Hall and, you know, being right down in the Capitol, we were under a lot more scrutiny. You know, we had cops stop by, make sure that we were following rules. And it was...
I noticed that. I was downtown once. And there was literal rounds of police going by and checking in with managers and asking what your capacity was at and how many people were inside. And they were on it. They were checking.
It was fun because they started really strong. And then when the mayor tried to mandate this again, the task force, they didn't really seem like they wanted to do it. And they kind of were just, you know, kind of give it a fuck all. But, you know, the beginning of this year was really tough. And we're really hoping that, you know, going into 2021 with the vaccine out, that we will be able to see a regular summer. You know, I'm hoping that by summer, you know, everything will be booming. You'll get to see people's faces again. God, I never thought I'd fucking say I miss seeing faces. Jesus.
You ever notice how sometimes you notice a girl who's really hot and she's got the mask on? And like, that's because like that whole stigma that we started with when the masks were a thing, people were like, oh, but you can't tell without the mask. Now we're just like, I don't fucking care. I'll fucking take that gamble. You know what I mean? She could have buck ass teeth. I still think she's hot. So maybe it's given us this. I've noticed some people say that. I'm not saying those are my words, but these are quotes. So like, to me, I'm like, damn, dude, like maybe there's been a little sense of appreciation for some people. Like, think about it. Like, people might be appreciating.
We've discovered people have personalities.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like, people are starting to think more about what's behind the mask and not think about what's initially right there. They're like, well, you know, she's got a mask on, but like, she was really nice to me when she served my table today. And she, you know, she could literally have some, like I said, buck ass teeth and I still smash.
She could have a beard under there.
Exactly. Or in my case, a dirty mustache. And
oh, you poor bastard.
I've had this mustache now for over a year and a half, and I don't think that any of my friends will see my upper lip again.
That's fair. See, I can't grow facial hair, so I wouldn't know how that feels.
I can only grow a mustache.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why I have one.
That's fair. That's
because like I try to grow the beard and it takes me like 8 months, and I'm like, it's kind of there. You know, but the mustache, that thing's fucking full send, you know, but the beard is like on the mustache and fucking.
Look, women like riding the dirty stash. Let's be real here.
I'm going to get a shirt that says free mustache rides. And then I'm going to get a shirt that says $10 mustache rides. I'm going to wear them both.
I'll take the free one.
We're going to run experiments and see what kind of results we get.
Oh, Lordy.
Oh, Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson. I'm trying to think. I remember one of the first times I started hanging out with you is because of Marissa Raines.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we actually almost fought each other first time we hung out.
Really?
The first few times we hung out. We got in a big argument.
See, I don't remember that.
I barely remember it either because we've been great friends ever since. And I only remember it because of Marissa. And I actually have a worse memory than you do. So I'm surprised that I remember it.
Yeah, wow, I don't remember a lot of things.
Alcoholism. It's a hell of a drug.
Yes, it is actually wonderful. Highly recommend if you have any alcohol in your house right now. I would get some because this might get wild. It'll help ease it just a little bit.
It'll help ease it. So I'm telling you this much. It wasn't a serious fight. It was more or less we were just not friends and didn't know each other. I'm like, fuck you, dude. Well, fuck you.
Yeah, that sounds like me.
Yeah, like it wasn't one of those, we threw hands or anything like that. It was just like...
Yeah, because I feel like I would have remembered throwing hands.
Yeah, I don't think we ever would throw hands either. We're both pretty nice guys.
And I'm a terrible fighter, so there should be no reason that I should ever be in a fight. If like I should be the last person you call. Like if you're in a fight, I mean I'm there to yell world star and maybe videotape it at best. Like, but you're not getting anything out of me. I'm more of like the guy to start the fight and then be like, bro, let's hug this out. Come on.
Sorry, my tobacco dealer is texting me.
Oh, tobacco's nice.
I don't have a car, so everything I buy is brought by.
You don't have a car?
No, I don't. Remember, I totaled my car in February when I broke my back?
Yes. Well, see, but I just assumed that, you know.
I bought one.
Yeah.
No. I've actually done all of this by the skin on my chinny chin chin, bro. Like every single fucking thing I've been doing this last couple months has been either found by a ride or via bike or via fucking...
Now, how do you go buy tiles and then get them?
Dude, I am one resourceful son of a bitch, bro. I don't have a car and I own a tile company.
See, that was my thought. I was like, there's gotta be a car in there because you just fucking throw them in your backpack and carry them.
No, I ride my bike to the job sites and I pay for delivery on everything.
That's fair. Okay.
Yeah, so I ride my bike to the job sites and I pay for my tools to get delivered and my materials to get delivered.
I just feel like in the long run, is it not cheaper just to buy a car?
Well, before I had sold my company to a business partner who handled all the other shit that I couldn't do.
I do remember that.
Yeah, and he would come in the morning and pick me up and stuff. So I didn't.
You didn't need one at that point.
I didn't need one. And now that I'm selling the company and I'm going to be the full owner again, I'm getting my license. I was holding off because Idaho's fucking stupid ass law, when it came down to if you get a DUI, you have to have the breathalyzer after your first DUI, which
I did have one of those in my car at one point. So
you got
I
it
did
out
get
now.
that.
You got it out.
Oh yeah, you can only need it in for a little bit of time, and then you can petition it.
Petition it.
So the court asks 2 months, and then you can file for a petition to get it out, and all you have to do is talk to the judge, and the judge 9 times out of 10
so
will.
in that case, since I've been without a license for about 6 months now, they will probably look at that because I've not been driving as my punishment kind of thing. I can go get my license if I get the breathalyzer, but I decided to wait out the year.
You'll still need to get the breathalyzer for that period
2
of
months.
time. You'll have to put it in there.
Even if I wait the whole year, or
if you wait the whole year, whatever the date is that they said, because wherever your court papers are, it should say in there that the date of expiration of whatever.
Then then it's going to be for the whole. My science behind it was I was going to wait it out for the year because I was like, fuck the meeting process of having to blow into a giant fucking calculator every time I try to drive my car.
Yeah.
Because I've seen those, they've the ones in California, those are actually kind of cool looking. They're like little sleek, little fucking futuristic devices that are like this big with a black cord. Dude, the ones in Idaho are a fucking 1990 fucking calculator.
Remember those T9 calculators that you had to use in high school?
Or a Game Boy.
That's what it is.
It looks like
or
a Game Boy.
Yeah, it's a Game Boy that you blow into. And here's the worst part. It will randomly go off. So after you start the vehicle, it can randomly go off in 5 minutes. So you could just be driving down the road and it'll go off and be like, you need to retest because clearly once you start your car, you've obviously cracked a beer and you're drinking and driving because they just assume everybody is a raging alcoholic that,
Literally. And
welcome to the state of Idaho.
The funniest one to me is like when you're driving and it goes off because that's not hazardous.
No, it's yeah. I always thought about that and I was like, this seems really, stupid.
Literally. I mean, I hate to say
yeah.
that I have a lot of friends with DUIs, but I have a lot of friends with DUIs. And every time I'm driving in the car with them, being somebody who has a DUI and who has to do that, I kind of laugh. I'm like, fuck, I feel so bad for you because low-key, I feel bad for myself.
Yeah, no, it's a ridiculous thing that they've done. I get it. You got to stay safe. Don't drink and drive, people. Uber's now become or Uber, Lyft, whatever it is. It's become so accessible that it's in your hands at all times, and it costs, let's be real, here in Boise, $10 to get you home at most. And then there's, the buddies. But it's crazy when you actually look down at the science, how easy it is to get over 0.08 and where you could be and feel completely fine.
Right, dude, that's the killer. Because like as bartenders, like we are all trained to know better on the fact that we shouldn't engage on how we feel, but on how much we drank.
Mm-hmm.
We all know that. We all do that. We all tell everybody that professionally because that's our job. We're like, dude, you drank too fucking much. You're cut off. Can't serve you. So we should know when to cut ourselves off. But at the same time, we get fucking pushy. We'll push the envelope,
But you can feel great and you could be over the limit because alcohol is going to affect everybody a little bit differently, which is insane. Buy yourself a little breathalyzer, put it in your car, blow into it before you start your vehicle. Don't end up like me.
I think on Amazon, they're like $30.
Yeah, it's worth it.
And they work every time. They're accurate within like 0.3 or so, but like, hey,
it still gives you a
who
nice
knows?
gauge.
When you tell the cop,
I mean?
when you tell the cop and you blow into yours and it shows you're under the limit, and then he blows into yours and it shows you're over, you might even get a fucking break. But like, you know what? You try.
If you blow, they'll if they make you blow. But but
I'm saying if you blow into your little one, you're like, see, sir, I checked, said I was okay. Who knows? The guy could be fucking cool and could be like, you know what?
More than likely they'll let you off as long as they don't make you blow. If they make you blow, that shit's recorded and they'll have to, at that point they have to.
Right.
I'm pretty sure
well, if you go over.
Exactly. If that's
or they'll just
loss.
give you a high five for trying. They'll say, hey, you know what? Appreciate you, bud.
No, I got the biggest dick of a cop. God.
My cop's name was Officer Casey Handcuff. And I was like, how is this even real?
And they put Casey in handcuffs.
Officer
Wild.
Casey handcuffed Casey. It's fucking dark days, boys. Dark old days. That whole
good old days. Oh boy.
That whole situation was hilarious too to me because fucking like obviously this is a comedy podcast, so everything we say on here is for comical purposes, but there was cocaine in my system when we crashed or when I crashed my car. And so my ass had fought tooth and nail to do a blood test because I was like, it'll buy me a couple hours before, they test my blood alcohol content.
Exactly.
And so I was like, fuck yeah, dude, I gotta buy some time. It's already been an hour, but I know they're gonna do the math and try to find the average, but it still buys you some time or buys you some fightability for your lawyer.
What you really should do is tell them you will not blow until your lawyer is present to make sure everything is accurate.
Ooh.
But don't have a lawyer because no no one will show up there if they ask you if you'll order. And no, they don't have people on retainer at 2:00 in the morning. Nobody's
Right.
going to show up till 8:00 in the morning. So by that time, it buys you enough time to sober up.
Right, exactly. And or just
Just
don't
food
drink
for
and
thought.
drive. But that
Oh yeah, that one first. Sorry. Just my lawyer gave me a few bits of advice. He's like, next time. I was like, what the fuck do you mean next time?
Right, that's
like,
what my lawyer said.
dude.
He's like, next time, shut your fucking mouth. Don't talk.
Plead the fifth.
Plead the fifth. Don't be so goddamn nice and fucking
Yeah.
shut up. I was like, what? I was just trying to be a good human. He's like, yeah.
Yeah, and good humans go to jail.
Just shut up next time, you know? And it was funny too, because I'm sitting there and I'm like, fuck, dude, cocaine's in my system. I'm like, oh shit, fuck. Okay, wait a minute. Hey, officer, real talk, real quick. Would it get everybody out of here a little faster if we just did the breathalyzer real fast? And he's like, oh yeah, dude, that'd be great. And I was like, yeah, let's do that. Great. And then
Same.
so I'm sitting there, right, and fucking my mom's in the ER with me, obviously, because I was pretty fucked up, incapacitated, broke my back and shit, you know. 10 staples in my dome, and my mom's sitting there, and the doctor's talking to me, and he leans over and he says, hey, dude, just real quick. I'm like, what's up? And he's like, quit doing cocaine, man. And I was like, and he whispers it just loud enough for my mother to hear. And I just like shot him a look from hell, and I was just like, oh, dude. My mom's like, what about cocaine? And I was like, I don't know. I didn't hear
Mom,
it.
I was roofied. I'm just going to tell you straight and honest. I was roofied by cocaine.
I blamed my Adderall prescription. I was like, no, mom, that's Adderall.
Right? Yeah.
What are you talking about? It's Adderall. Mom, if you're listening, it's Adderall.
I hate cocaine, but love the way it smells. Jesus.
I do not stand people who do cocaine.
He sits when he does it.
So,
Oh,
Johnny,
boy.
when I was going to get you on here originally, man, we were doing all kinds of fucking back and forth banter about whether we were going to do a podcast about bartending, about COVID, about blah, da, 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 da. And from what you've seen with me today to what you've seen from when I first started this, back when I was hitting you up probably from the beginning. And that was back in like April, May almost, when I was calling friends being like, hey, did you want to do an over the phone podcast with your boy? And people were like, I don't want to talk about COVID, whatever, you know? And
Right.
but with that, dude, like, what do you think? What do you think of this? Like, what do you think of like what I've turned this into? What was your first thought walking in here today? Like, I don't know. What do you think?
First thought was I wanted some of that pizza that you had over there, but I
That was
kept
fresh
that. I
pizza.
kept that.
You should have
to
asked for some. I
myself.
made
Yeah,
that
should
about
have
2
at that
hours
point.
ago.
See, but I'm going to dinner here shortly, and so I was like, that's
Yeah.
going to ruin the appetite. And then I got to be a good host at some point.
And it's actually pizza that I put the dough and the sauce and the cheese.
Oh, you made this yourself?
Oh, I made it myself. I didn't fucking. That's
if
not
any
a.
of
That's
you
not a
don't
frozen
know,
pizza.
Casey is an excellent chef. He makes
Yes.
incredible food. Just throwing that one out there.
I don't know how or why.
I remember once it was 4th of July. This is back when I was still dating Star.
Like I remember that 4th of
Me
July.
and Star were vegan, and I invited everybody over to my house, and I was grilling meat for people, and I was like, fuck, I don't know how to do this. I haven't been eating meat in over like a year and a half now. And Casey was like, why are you grilling? Like, let me
Get
take
outta
care of this.
here.
Made some bomb ass food there for everybody. And I was like, good, thank you. Oh God, I should have, why would I?
Like just
I was trying to be a gracious host, and I had no idea what I was doing.
dude, I appreciate that. And I think it was just the other night, actually. I made like homemade broccoli cheddar soup from scratch. Fucking like this is for myself. On New Year's, I was just like, I'm hungry. I have $8.
Respect.
I have $8. I could buy a burrito, or I could buy a cheese, broccoli, and use what I got in the fridge. I was like, cheese and broccoli it is. Let's go. And I made homemade broccoli cheddar soup and fucking fed myself for like 4 days.
Yeah,
It was
that's
like-
the way to do it.
And I did it happily. I was like, oh, this is good soup. Yeah. You know, and there's just,
I love broccoli and I love cheddar.
Yeah,
and you
there's
put
just-
those two things together, and it's even better.
or let's see, like I think it was 3 weeks ago. And what's turned me into being a good cook is being broke. Being fucking broke, dude. Like when bills hit and I don't have enough money to
Yep.
go grocery shopping, and I've got nothing but tomatoes and a fucking piece of basil in my fucking fridge. I'm like, fuck, dude, what do I make out of this? And I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna combine every fucking ingredient that I can find. And that's what I'll do. I'll put everything that I have on my counter and be like, okay, I've got this, I've got that, and I've got this.
Being broke creates ingenuity.
Dude,
Let's be real.
It does. And I
If
think
you've never been broke in your life, do it.
that's why I made broccoli cheddar soup. For one, I love broccoli cheddar, but all I had was milk. I had milk and was like, I had milk and $8. And I was like, milk, onion, and $8.
Oh yeah, no, that's
So I
you
was
can make
like-
a great soup right there.
I think one time I was so broke over, this was like a couple years ago. I fucking had, it was over the holidays, you know, what's up, dude? It was over the holidays, and fucking literally, dude, I'm sitting there and I'm just throwing beans in the slow cooker, dude. I had like 30 different kinds of beans. You can just throw it on the table right there. I cash apped you already. I had like 30 different kinds of fucking beans, dude. I just threw them all in the fucking slow cooker and went, fuck it, dude. Thanks, Gavin. And fucking literally, dude, threw beans, onion, and garlic in this soup. And I made like 8 jars of this soup. And I was like, at this time I was doing community service for my fucking DUI.
Should have went with the guy. Should have went and done it where I did it.
Well, I had to walk there.
It's in walking distance. It's like right around
Where'd
the corner.
you go?
Bro, there's a
Thrift store?
no. I did it at a retirement home for people. Basically, I did. I had 60 hours, and I did
Oh yeah, because you got
an excessive DI. But they gave me 60 hours, and I did maybe 7 hours of work. And the guy just filled out my paper. He goes, "I like you. I'm gonna fill out your paper. You see that? I'm gonna send that in on this date. Don't come back here again." And I was like, "Bro, you my boy. That's what's up."
Dude, you know what they can do to that though? If they find out that homeboy was doing that, this happened at the one that I was working at.
They didn't find out.
No.
Scratch that. Erase that. Take it back.
This never happened. This was all a comical joke. Everything on the show is for comedy purposes only. But dude, the guy that did it at my place, they fucking dead ass. He wasn't doing it because you were a good person. He was doing it because he was getting paid. Yeah. So you could slip this dude like $20 and he'd be like, and he was doing it hourly. So $10 an hour, you know, like if you want an hour written off or something like that, like $2 to $5 or $2 to $10 an hour is what he would charge you. Like,
I also would have done that. Yeah.
Right. But so I guess like there was a fucking confrontation between him and one of the people because he didn't get enough hours or something like that. And because of the heat that was brought on by it, they went and investigated and they found out that guy was doing that. They took him to jail for that.
Jail's actually a nice place. I mean, they give you a bed and they feed you. That's, you know, there's worse things.
I mean, yeah, if you're homeless and it's 10 degrees outside.
Yeah, well, don't actually go to jail. I hear it's not that much fun.
So, Johnson. You work at Brickyard.
Sometimes.
You work at Reef.
Sometimes.
And you work at Front Door.
Also sometimes.
Tell me something about who you are that you haven't really brought on this podcast, something that's new to you, something maybe that you have promised yourself for 2021. How about that? Let's do that. Tell me what your New Year's resolutions are.
To be happy.
Are you not?
I know what the feeling is.
For those of you cutting themselves out there, he is only slightly serious.
Oh, dear baby Jesus. No, just raw, simple. That was my New Year's resolution, to go into 2021 happy and whole and kind of just go back to my roots and be simple and do the things that really make me happy and not compromise and be upset about silly things. You don't let things harbor and hold on to things that aren't worth that time. You know, get rid of the bad and in with the good kind of thing.
Don't harbor resentment.
Exactly. So down to the basis, happy, but more behind it. So I'm not some sad boy.
My New Year's resolution for 2021 this year, Johnny, was more manifestation.
I like it.
Exactly. I want to focus my energy on manifesting greater things in my life and putting less focus on the things that are bringing me down, because it's not that they're bringing me down, it's that I'm letting them bring me down.
See, exactly. It's letting go of things.
Mm-hmm.
That's another one of mine.
Manifest greatness for myself, and not just for me, but for those around me. And that any time that something in my life isn't going great, tell myself with realism that it will be okay. Because there's a difference between optimism and complete fucking idiocracy. You know, you can be dumb or you can be optimistic. Because being optimistic, you're still aware there's a problem, but you don't let that problem be the best of you, right? Being dumb is pretending there's no fucking problem.
Agreed. Have you read the book Siddhartha?
No, I haven't.
Okay, I'll give it to you. So that really changed the way I view things. It's about a gentleman named Siddhartha going through life in India and finding his way through to Buddhism, I guess, and his path to acceptance and happiness and enlightenment. And it really changed my viewpoint on, I guess, last year. I guess it was the perfect time for me to read it because 2020 did not seem like it was a year for really a lot of people. And so it kind of pushed me to think differently and get rid of the bad and in with the good, I guess. But yeah, it's a fantastic book. Everybody that I've ever recommended to hates the first part. And then by the end of it, they're like, holy shit, that is one of my favorite books I've ever read, because it really pushes you to learn and think in a different way.
An audiobook that I can recommend for you, because I'll read that. I would love to read that. And that says a lot because I only read.
I'll let you borrow it. Yeah, no, I stole it from a girl. So
there you go. I only read a select few in my entire life. I haven't enjoyed only this amount of books in my life, but I've physically flipped front to back, page to page on about 15 books in my entire life. But I listen to a lot of audiobooks because I do have major ADHD and I don't take Adderall. That's the thing. So I have major fucking attention deficit disorder, but I don't take Adderall or anything for it. So when I do read, I really have to push myself to be like, or this book has to be so fucking interesting that it actually hurts me. You know, where I'm like, God, if I don't read this anymore, then I'm gonna fucking.
I understand that feeling.
You know,
yep.
And there's been like, I don't know if you've ever read. This is a kid's book, Circus of Freaks.
Never read it.
Dude, great book series. Absolutely phenomenal. There's like 12 books in it, and it's like a fucking junior high or high school fucking reading level or something like that. And it's just about some kid who's about 15 years old who becomes a vampire. Right.
Okay.
Interesting book. Super great book. But like just the depth of the series and like how it all went, because it wasn't just about vampires. It was just a very science fiction fucking super rad book. But I read that whole series front to back like 3 times.
Dang.
And I've read 15 books in my entire fucking life. You know, so like it's weird. It was weird how like, dude, I would like literally sit there and just like only read this fucking book. I don't know what it was. And it's like,
it's crazy.
Yeah. And that makes me wonder, like maybe if I spent more time and invested myself in reading a little more, that I would find more books like that.
Oh, you 100% would.
Right. But there's a stigma that I've developed over years of not reading that I'm just kind of like arrogant to it. You know, I'm like, oh, whatever. I'm not saying that's not changeable. I'm not saying that's something I couldn't work on, because that's something I definitely can change and can work on. But I am definitely going to admit to the fact that it's something I do need to work on.
2021. There you go.
Hey man, just because it's a new year doesn't mean it has to be. Just because it's the new year doesn't mean it's the only reason that it needs to be a new you. A new year shouldn't be the reason you change yourself for the better. You know? It's the number one most found excuse. You know, hey, yeah, the fucking year's coming up. We're going to wait till New Year's. Then we're going to do all these things. There was a lot of
new people at the gym today, so I get that.
Yeah, you've been going to that gym for a while, too.
I haven't seen any of you people. I'm glad you're here. Probably never see you again.
Dude, I'm the kind of person when I'm at the gym and I see a fat dude sweat and I fucking get stoked. I'm like, yeah, dude.
I love that. Somebody going in there trying to better their lives.
Yeah, man. I'm
all about the empowerment. It's fuck yeah, good for you.
If there's a line for the machine, you get it first. You go first. Go ahead, fucking pumpkin. Get your shit. Do you. I'm here for it.
You do you.
I'm sitting there cheering him on next to him like, yeah, the guy's getting really uncomfortable because there's a random guy he's never met giving him claps, you know?
And just right up in his ear. You got this.
Sir, you don't know me, but I believe in you.
Hey, everybody needs a little motivation every once in a while.
You don't know me, but I believe in you. All right, Johnny, you've got a couple minutes here before you've got to head out.
Yes, unfortunately.
Is there anything? And there's actually probably plenty of things, but is there anything in specific that you felt as if you didn't get a chance to talk about? You felt as if I didn't give you enough time to reiterate on, or even just anything that you felt like you wanted to say?
No. I mean, well, unfortunately, due to time constrictions, I kind of knew this is going to be kind of short, sweet, to the point.
That means it'll be up and live tonight. No worries.
Yeah, no, I think that this was it was fun. We got to talk about quite a bit. You know, it would have been nice to, if, you know, I could plan my days a little bit better to.
Hey man, in your defense, I I never reached out to you to confirm for the day, and that's something I normally am very good about. Again, I kind of got very busy with some work stuff that went on, and I do apologize for that. But tell you what,
That's okay. That's okay.
you did say, "Hey, did you want to do another day? We can make that happen." And I said, "You know, man, let's just run it for the hour that we've got. Let's get the little bit of content that we can, and let's get it posted." Because one thing I do appreciate out there, you guys, is my viewers and the ones out here, especially those of you who do not know me personally, but do continue to still check in with me on the regular. You guys are amazing. You're my favorites, and I love you. Now, that I said that, do your boy a favor. Go subscribe on Patreon. Literally, dude, $3 a month. Again, I don't shake my booty, but I literally might. You never know.
He does.
I do pretty well.
He's lying to all of you.
Lying
I'm just
straight
gonna be
to
honest
your
with you.
fucking face, you guys. But do me a favor. Patreon.com/YoungBloodPodcast, you guys. Please check it out. And if you don't have the money, the time, or the fucking resources to do so, throw me another bone and maybe check out YB.podcast on Instagram or YoungBPodcast on Twitter. Or, go to any of those platforms that I've told you before in the past, such as Google, Spotify, or Apple, and fucking follow, you guys. It's really such a simple thing to me, but it goes so far. And guys, again, if you haven't had the chance, check out Tattooed and Successful Co. on Instagram. They are phenomenal. Their fucking clothes are even sicker, and I'll tell you what, their models are even hotter. Go check them out. Give them some love. They're a Boise local company. And while you're fucking at it, shoot them a follow. Okay? Shoot them a follow, shoot them a like, and go buy their clothes. Don't ask them for free shit. You might know the guy who owns it. Cool. Fuck you. Go buy their shit. Don't hit up our fucking small town business owners out here and ask for any discounts, you guys. Everybody's struggling right now. We know you're struggling as a consumer, but think about it this way. The people you're buying your shit on, especially us locals, we're struggling. So go support local. Go support Brickyard. Go support Reef. Go support The Front Door. They've got great food on every aspect, and in every one of their restaurants, they kill everything. So please show them some love. Show fucking Ted Challenger some love. Show Jason Kovac some love. Show everybody some love, you guys. It's a huge situation that we're all going through, and we need to get through it together as a community. So, Johnny.
Casey, sorry. Zoned out there for a second.
No, you're
Sorry.
good. So, Johnny, thank you so much for coming on, for your time today, and for being a part of YoungBlood Podcast. We'll have you on again soon, man.
Fuck yeah. I'm into it.
Hooch yeah.